All right, we're back to mix it up on the day's other headlines. A sweetheart deal for the NRA and a man on a mission in Pakistan. We start, though, with the NRA's exemption from a new campaign finance disclosure bill. It's thanks to a deal with the House Democrats. The bill, a direct response to the Supreme Court's Citizens United ruling, which allows corporations and other large groups to spend unlimited money on elections. You're familiar. It calls for groups to disclose their top donors if they sponsor TV ads, and for corporate CEOs, in fact, to appear in those ads. So at least we would see who's spending the money as opposed to how it is now, where it's all spent behind our backs. The NRA, of course, opposing those rules, forcing a compromise, get this, that exempts only them. The exemption covers organizations that fit the following criteria. You have to have more than 1 million members in your group to be exempted from these disclosure rules. You have to have been in existence for at least a decade. You have to have members in every one of the 50 states, and 15% or less of your funds have to come from corporations, but instead have to come from your membership. The total number of political organizations that fit each and every one of those criteria is 1. The NRA. It'd be like saying you exempt curly-haired anchormen who are on MS-NBC at 4 p.m. until 5 p.m. Here to mix it up is our panel. Former Clinton White House staffer David Goodfriend and associate editor for the Washington Examiner, J.P. Freire. This sounds fair, right, J.P.?
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. I mean, the whole reason that this is happening is it's about entrenched special interests. This is about protecting incumbents. This is about protecting large organizations that already have the run of the place and preventing new organizations from starting up. And it's protectionist. It's the worst part of Congress.
If you were to look at this basic aspect, which is the unfairness, the accommodation, David, of whoever it is that I want to accommodate at the expense of the country, or the basic principle of fairness, why is it so hard for either party to even remotely appear to not be so entrenched and so willing to betray that very principle?
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting, the amount of power that the NRA has. But I hear that they're working on a new slogan. They're going to say, guns don't kill people, campaign finance kills people. I don't know what you think. It's got a kind of a ring to it. But they have an incredibly powerful lobby here in Washington. It doesn't matter which party is in power. And in fact, they use some pretty bully boy tactics to go after members that want reasonable gun control measures. And I think that this is just a manifestation of the power they have. However, we're kind of missing a very important part of this topic. The Supreme Court is on a rampage against campaign finance reform. Not only the Citizens United case, but now they've outlawed Arizona's public finance system to the point where what had been a crown jewel of pro-democracy citizenship in the United States, in Arizona,
by which you mean forcing taxpayer dollars to go towards candidates that can't raise money themselves.
Oh, that's
right?
interesting.
That's what you mean?
I thought it was Janet Napolitano and John McCain and others who supported across the
I don't care who it is. Those are entrenched politicians,
somebody being able to actually run who doesn't have a lot of money. But I guess you love the Supreme Court's decision. You love the fact that they're tearing down campaign finance.
Hold on, David. Go ahead, JP. Hold on, David. Go ahead, JP.
Now, I think forcing taxpayers to fund candidates that they themselves may not actually support, I think that that's a violation of the very essence of freedom of speech. Now, I know that you think that those people are probably underserved, or they might be too stupid to fund the right candidate. But if they are not themselves deciding that they want to fund a candidate, you should not force them to do it. It's as simple as that.
Let me throw a little fly in the ointment here. What of the argument, David, that if we can see, if we simply get the transparency, forget this for the funding, let whoever wants to throw money around, however they want to throw it around, throw it all day. And if we can see all the dollars, we know who it is, why it is, and where it is, and then I, as the voter, can say, oh, this is JP, who's running for Congress, and he gets all of his money from the hamburger people, and he works for the hamburger people, and it's very clear that he's a hamburger guy, and I think the hamburger guys are a bunch of criminals, and I'm not voting for JP. It's the denial of information that prevents us, as the voter, from being able to make the proper decision, is it not?
Is more transparency better than less? Of course it is. Is it enough? Of course not. You can't come on this program, JP, and think that that NRA Act is so despicable, and then out of the same side of your mouth say that you think that restricting uncontrolled spending in politics is somehow un-American. You're wrong.
Well, actually, I think you've raised a very good point. I think you've raised a very good point. But here's another question. Why is it that a guy like Chuck Schumer is all for campaign finance regulation, and he's really a big fan of it, and yet some of his biggest fundraisers are Wall Street lobbyists, and that some of his staffers are also involved with corporate America to such an extent. It's because he likes it when corporations come to him directly and work with him through lobbying. That's why he likes this. If you read anything that the Washington Examiner puts out, we don't play the partisan game. What we do is we look at the data, and it shows that corporate America will always have a say so long as Democrats and Republicans work towards minimizing the amount of free speech that your average citizen has, and that's what campaign finance law does.
You guys,
I think some of those Wall Street lobbyists want their money back from Chuck Schumer. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll tell you what, is you guys just mixed it up, which is the name of the segment, and I couldn't be happier for it. You both did a fantastic job. Thanks for the great conversation, you two. Appreciate it.